Episode 12. The Gift of Slowing Down. Today we're exploring something simple, yet deeply profound: slowing down. Life has a way of speeding up without asking permission. Appointments fill the calendar, treatments structure your days, chores and responsibilities keep moving forward, and even your thoughts, your mind, can start running ahead, trying to solve tomorrow before today has even finished. And when you're walking a journey like this with MDS, that pace can feel even more intense. Everything feels sharper, more urgent, more time-sensitive. You become more aware of time, more aware of your body, more aware of how quickly things can change. And without realizing it, you can start living in a constant state of forward motion, always thinking about the next result, the next appointment, the next step. But here's the truth that changes everything. Slowing down is not a weakness. It's not falling behind. It's not giving up. It's not doing less because you can't keep up. Slowing down is a gift. It's an intentional choice to step out of the rush and step back into your life. Because when everything feels urgent, slowing down allows you to breathe again. It gives your body space to rest, not just physically, but emotionally. It gives your mind a break from constant anticipation. It creates room for peace to settle in. Slowing down says, I don't have to live at the pace of my fear. I don't have to chase every thought. I don't have to rush through moments that matter. And in a season like this, that matters more than ever. Because healing, physical, emotional, spiritual, does not happen well in a constant state of urgency. It happens in spaces where there is room to rest, room to process, room to be present. Slowing down allows you to notice what you would otherwise miss. A quiet moment of peace, a meaningful conversation, a breath that feels steady, a sense that even here you are still being held. It brings you back from what might happen to what is happening right now. And that is where life actually is, right here, in this moment, not in the next appointment, not in the next result, but in the breath you are taking now. Slowing down doesn't remove the responsibilities. It doesn't change the reality of the journey, but it changes how you experience it. Instead of rushing through your days, you begin to live them. Instead of being carried by urgency, you begin to be guided by intention. You start to realize there is still peace here. There is still life here. There is still meaning in this moment. So today, give yourself permission to slow down, to pause before you respond, to breathe before you move forward, to sit in a moment instead of rushing past it, because slowing down is not losing time, it's finally being present in it. And that presence is where peace begins. Slowing down is not laziness. I want to be clear. Resting, slowing your pace, and taking moments of pause is not laziness. It's intentional care. It's choosing to honor your body instead of pushing past it. It's choosing to protect your mind instead of overwhelming it. It's choosing to nurture your spirit instead of neglecting it. In a world that often equates constant motion with strength, slowing down can feel uncomfortable, even wrong. But in this season, especially, slowing down is not falling behind. It's staying aligned. In Psalm 46:10 it says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still. Not when everything is easy, not when life is calm, but right in the middle of the noise, the uncertainty, the urgency. Being still is not a suggestion, it's a command. Because God knows something we often forget. We cannot stay grounded if we are constantly rushing. We cannot hear truth clearly if our minds are always racing. We cannot feel peace if we never pause long enough to receive it. Stillness is how we anchor ourselves. It's where we step out of the pressure of what's next and return to the truth of what is. It's where we remember God is still in control. God is still present. God is still holding everything together, even when we feel like we're not. Stillness is also how we recharge, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Because when you're constantly giving, thinking, processing, and responding, you begin to drain. But when you pause, truly pause, something begins to refill. Your breathing slows, your thoughts settle, your body softens. And in that space, strength quietly returns. Stillness is also where alignment happens. It's where your thoughts come back to truth, where fear loses some of its volume, where your heart reconnects with faith instead of urgency. It's where you can say, I don't have to carry everything right now. I don't have to figure everything out. I can rest here for a moment and trust. And that changes how you move forward. Because when you rise from a place of stillness, you're not reacting, you're responding. You're not rushed, you're grounded. So if you feel the need to slow down, if your body is asking for rest, if your mind feels overwhelmed, listen. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. That is care. That is obedience. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in a fast-moving, uncertain season is to be still. Why we resist slowing down? We often resist slowing down, even when we need it most. Not because we don't understand it, but because something inside us pushes back. We feel guilty for not doing, as if our value is tied to our productivity, as if resting means we're not contributing, not keeping up, not doing enough. But your worth has never been measured by how much you accomplish in a day. Sometimes the most valuable thing you can do is pause. We fear falling behind schedules, behind expectations, behind where we think we should be. But this journey, especially one like this, is not a race. There is no universal timeline you have to keep up with. Slowing down doesn't mean you're falling behind. It means you're walking at the pace your life requires right now. We worry that rest is wasted time, that if we stop, we're losing something. But rest is not wasted. Rest is where restoration happens. It's where your body recovers. It's where your mind clears. It's where your spirit reconnects. What feels like doing nothing is often where the deepest work is happening, quietly beneath the surface. Because God created us with rhythm, not constant motion, not endless output, but rhythm, work and rest, activity and stillness, effort and renewal, a healthy back and forth. And when we ignore that rhythm, when we push past our need for rest, when we keep going without pause, we don't become stronger, we become brittle, easily overwhelmed, emotionally drained, physically exhausted, spiritually disconnected, like something stretched too thin for too long. But when we honor rest, when we allow ourselves to slow down, something shifts. We become steadier, more grounded, more present, not because life is easier, but because we are no longer running on empty. So if you feel that resistance to slow down, that pull to keep going even when you're tired, pause and ask yourself, is this strength or is this pressure? Because true strength knows when to move and when to rest. And choosing rest, especially in a season like this, is not weakness. It is wisdom. How slowing down heals. Slowing down allows you to experience your life differently. Not just manage it, but truly live it. It creates space for what often gets lost in the rush. Notice what matters. When life slows, your awareness expands. You begin to see what you might have missed before. A quiet moment with someone you love, a small kindness, a sense of peace that was always there but unnoticed. You start to realize that life is not only made up of big events, but of small, meaningful moments. And those moments, when seen, become anchors. They remind you that even in a difficult season, there is still beauty, still connection, still purpose. Recharge your body. Your body is not designed for constant output. Rest is not optional, it's essential. When you slow down, you give your body the chance to restore. Energy begins to return, even if gradually. Your system has space to recover, to heal, to strengthen. Especially in a journey like this, rest is not stepping away from progress. It is part of the progress. It builds resilience from the inside out. Anchor your spirit. Stillness creates space that activity cannot. In those quiet moments, when everything else pauses, that your spirit has room to reconnect, to pray, to reflect, to remember what is true. It's where faith deepens, not in the rush, but in the stillness, where you can sit, even briefly, and feel, I am not alone. I am held. There is something steady beneath all of this. That kind of anchoring changes how you walk through everything else. Calm your mind. When life is moving quickly, your thoughts often follow. They race ahead. They replay. they spiral. But pausing interrupts that pattern. It creates a break in the noise. When you slow down, even for a moment, your mind begins to settle. Your breathing deepens. Your thoughts become less reactive. And in that space, peace can enter. Not forced, not manufactured, but received. Slowing down doesn't remove what you're facing, but it changes how you carry it. It brings you back to what matters. It restores what feels depleted. It reconnects you to what is steady. It quiets what feels overwhelming. And in that space, even in the middle of everything, you begin to find peace again. Practices that help me slow down. Slowing down doesn't just happen. It's something I choose, gently and intentionally, throughout my day. These are simple practices, but they've made a profound difference in how I experience this journey. Number 1, pause for breath. Before I get out of bed, before I start a task, before I walk into a busy or emotional space, I pause and breathe. Slow in, slow out. It seems small, but it resets everything. It brings me out of rushing and back into presence. It tells my body, we're not in a hurry, we're grounded. And that one pause often changes how I move into the next moment. Number 2, morning stillness. Before the day fills up with responsibilities, I create space for prayer, reflection, journaling. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about starting the day anchored instead of reactive. It centers my thoughts. It reminds me what is true. It sets a tone of peace before anything else tries to set it for me. Number 3, mindful moments. I've learned to slow down inside ordinary things, sipping my coffee slowly instead of rushing through it, noticing the sunlight coming through the window. These moments don't take extra time, they take intention. And when I notice them, I feel more present, more alive, more connected to what is happening right now. Number 4, intentional rest. This one took time to learn. Letting go of guilt. Taking a nap when my body needs it. Sitting in quiet without feeling like I should be doing something else. Rest is not something I earn, it's something I need. And when I allow it, I recover faster. I feel steadier. I move through my day with more strength, not less. Number 5, digital breaks. Not everything deserves my attention. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, information overload. All of it can increase stress without me even realizing it. So I step away. I limit what I take in. I create quiet space in my mind. And in that space, I can hear what matters again. Peace, truth, and my own steady breath. These practices are simple, but they create something powerful. A life that feels less rushed, a mind that feels less overwhelmed, and a heart that feels more anchored. Because slowing down isn't about doing less, it's about living more intentionally, moment by moment. The gift in the pause. When we slow down, life isn't wasted. It's reclaimed, not rushed past, not overlooked, not reduced to just getting through the day. Reclaimed. Because so often in the middle of appointments, treatments, and responsibilities, life can start to feel like something we're trying to keep up with, instead of something we are actually living. But when you pause, truly pause, something shifts. You notice grace, not in big dramatic ways, but in quiet, steady ones. A moment of peace, a kind word, a sense of being carried even when things feel heavy. Grace that was always there, but now you can see it. You recognize God's presence, not just in the milestones or breakthroughs, but in the ordinary in-between moments, in the stillness, in the breath, in the quiet reassurance that you are not alone in any of this. Sometimes it's in the pause that you feel Him most clearly. You restore your energy, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Because constant motion drains you, but stillness refills you. Your body softens. Your spirit has room to breathe again. And in that restoration, you find strength, not forced, but renewed. You live more fully in the moments you already have. Instead of always reaching for what's next, you begin to experience what is here. This conversation, this moment of connection, of quiet, of life. You realize life is not waiting for you in the future. It's happening now, even in treatment, even in uncertainty, even when life feels fragile. Slowing down is a radical act. It's a radical act of self-care because you are choosing to honor your limits, your needs, and your humanity. And it's a radical act of faith because you are trusting that you don't have to rush, control, or force everything forward. You are trusting that even in the pause, God is still working. That even in stillness, you are still being held. That even when you slow down, nothing that truly matters is being lost. In fact, everything that matters becomes clearer. So the pause is not empty. It's full. Full of grace, full of presence, full of life that is finally being seen, felt, and lived. If you are rushing, exhausted, or feeling the weight of constant motion, hear this. Slowing down is a gift. It's not a compromise. It's strength. Choose to pause. Choose to notice. Choose to rest in God's presence. And you'll find that even the smallest pauses can transform your days, your heart, and your perspective. If this encouraged you, share it with someone who needs permission to slow down today. Like it by clicking the thumbs up. Follow me by clicking the bell sign. This will help me reach more people. Until next time, stay anchored.